Woke up this morning, got myself a guest, actually, two of them. They played two of the most famous television siblings of all time, and now they're the co-hosts of the Not Today Pal podcast. It's great. Check it out. Jamie-Lynn Sigler and Robert Iler. What's happening, guys?
What's happening? I love how you say our names.
What did I do?
You have a New York accent, and you say it right.
What do people normally say? They screw that part up?
We're in Texas right now, you know? We don't hear
but I get like Jamie-Lynn Sigler. Yeah, like I don't know. We talk about this all the time in our podcast, that New York accents are like lullabies to me. Like, I just love hearing them.
All right, good. I mean, I might break that trend for you. You might be sick of me. But let me start by saying I love the Not Today Pal podcast. It's entertaining and it's funny, and you're actually good friends. Like, and you could see it, and it seeps right through. Good job by you for staying such good friends. How did you do it?
Thank you. Yeah, they appreciate that very much. I appreciate, me and Jamie's husband throw your picks in our parlays pretty often, so thank you. Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm surprised you still have an apartment. now we know why you don't have any food in the fridge there.
Nothing on the wall. That's why.
No, but I mean, like, if Bobby and Cindy Brady had a podcast, no one would give a shit. Like, Bobby never shaved his eyebrows, and Cindy never bought drugs from her father's right-hand man / cousin. So do you feel like you're doing a big thing because you guys are here?
No.
I mean, I think it's just, it's just a representation of our relationship that's completely separate from Sopranos. I think that what's interesting to people is to hear our real life relationship. They obviously have a connection and an affinity towards Rob and I together, but our unique friendship that is very intimate and very close, it's very brother-sister-like, is not common. And I think we bring out sides of each other, and we're so comfortable with each other that it makes for a good conversation.
We've been friends for almost 30 years, and Sopranos was 10 years of that. So that's like, 33%. I feel like that makes up the same amount of our friendship, our show, everything is like, Sopranos is like 33% of it, It's like when sometimes we're out to dinner somewhere and like, we're like, why? So I literally am like, why are people staring at us? And I'm like, we were, that's right. It's probably weird for people to see us eating dinner together.
Rob giving us percentages, his poker skills kicking in mid-interview. This is good. I know.
It's
true.
That.
What is the most interesting thing you've learned about each other since starting the podcast?
Ooh. I think more than anything for me, it's watching Rob and my husband's relationship flourish and grow. And I feel like I really understand that Rob and my husband are both very much on the spectrum in very similar ways. And it's why I love them both so much. Like I'm in love with both of them in very similar ways because they're very similar.
For me, I think, well, I've said this before, but like watching Jamie become a mom for me and like being a mom and all that stuff is just so, because she's so good at it. And watching it, and you're just like, damn, how does she, it's like really.
Well, we've been through a lot of life together. We were kids. We were literal kids when we met. We were 12 years old and 16 with our moms taking us to set. We've been through a lot of life together. We've been through a lot of versions of ourselves together. And I think I can speak for the both of us when I say that we've both done a lot of work on ourselves. And Rob, to me, has always been somebody I've looked up to because of his authenticity. He's always been completely himself, no matter what stage of life he was in. And I have not been that way. I've always put like an immense amount of pressure on myself to be this or that. And him and my husband are both very authentically themselves. And to sort of see Rob settle even more into that, I feed off of. And so our podcast is just another opportunity for me to like lean more into that for myself, getting to be around him so much.
I grew up in New York City around a lot of scumbags, like my friends were all scumbags. Everybody, people in my family, it was like, it was almost like good to be a scumbag, like you're a scum. That's good for you. Like you didn't let somebody get over, you always stood your ground. You did this. And like, with Jamie, even when we were younger, it was like when nobody was looking, she always did the right thing, like we're leaving a hotel room and she's like cleaning up or putting $20 on the counter for the person who's going to clean it, and now seeing her do that as a mom, like always doing the right thing and putting so much effort into it. It's like, damn, I'm 40. I don't have a kid, and watching her, I'm like, I think I should keep it this way because I don't have it. I don't know if I have it in me.
No, you do. You do. I just hope you don't lose all your money. Now, you mentioned that you will gamble with Jamie's husband, Cutter, right? This is on Sundays, or does it go beyond that?
I mean, football's on Mondays and Thursdays and sometimes Saturdays. And we get after it. It doesn't matter what day of the week. Yeah, any sport. We just did the Final Four boxes. That
was one of the saddest 3-minute phone calls I'd ever heard of in my life. I was there when you were on speakerphone with you and Cutter. Do you want to talk about that, Rob?
I haven't talked about it since, and it's a real sore subject. But I guess
sorry for bringing it up.
No, I think these things. What do they say? Something lives in the darkness. If secrets live in the dark, that's what causes cancer, right? If you hold these things in. So
let this shit out, Rob. Come on.
Get the cancer out. Come on.
All right, so me and Cutter won a box in the championship weekend in the NFL. Then we hit, and we only had 2 boxes. And then we hit, and we had never hit a box before it. Then on Super Bowl, that last 2-point conversion made us hit the box for the final.
Oh.
And we hit the box. It was incredible.
It was beautiful to watch. They were like children.
Amazing. It was like a ballet. Yeah. we were like synchronized, And then we got 2 boxes for the Final Four, and like it's not the same. Like you're watching the college basketball, and you're like, the score could be anything. It's not like it's 7-0 with 10 minutes left, and you're like, is this my chance? Like it's changing every minute. So we're just like, you know what, this sucks, whatever. And it's boring, but like Duke and Florida were on top, and then the other 2 teams were on the bottom. So like Auburn and who was the other one?
Houston.
Yeah. They were on the side. So then you do the play-in game, the other play-in game, and then for the final game, I just figured the teams would stay where they were, like the Duke on top or Florida on top, and Houston on the side. And so but I didn't read the email, and we get to the final thing, and we box, and it was 5-3, and I start going nuts, and I'm calling Cutter, and I'm going crazy, and then he's like, "Well, did you read the email?" They flipped. They put Florida on the side and Houston on the top, and it was the most depressing 3 minutes.
Rob went in 10 seconds from playing, "Whoa, baby! Whoa, baby!" And then Cutter's like, "Did you read the email?" And Rob goes, "Oh my God. Oh my God. Bye." And just hung up.
It was devastating. It was I'm like, delete the voice note. I left him like a voice note of me just going crazy. I'm like, they can't stop us.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's happened a million times to me, but you have to beat the email too. It's hard enough to beat the game and the players and coaching and referees. The email is what it is.
I can't beat the emails.
Rob, you're a Yankees fan, which I'm not going to hold against you. Was Derek Jeter your favorite growing up?
I loved Mattingly. I was a big Paul O'Neill guy. Yeah, and Mariano was just, like, couldn't say a bad word about him if, he's like Jamie-Lynn. I couldn't say a bad word about him if I tried.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, he's a great mother, like Jamie-Lynn. He's one of the
people compare the 2 of us all the time.
Yeah, Mariano always doing the right thing when no one's looking, they say,
I was thinking, Jamie, the stars almost aligned for you. I don't even know if you'd be into this, but could it have worked out that you dated Derek Jeter? You seem to be his type. It was around that time he had the Minka Kelly, right? Like,
he dated friends of mine. He dated a few friends of mine, and one of Rob and I's really close friends was a good friend of Derek's, Aton Sugarman. Shout out to Aton, a New York legend. We were around each other, but no, it would just the stars didn't align, as they said.
All right, no gift baskets for you.
No gift baskets for me. God damn it!
One of my favorite questions on our podcast of all time was if you had the same mind as Derek Jeter and thought, hey, after I have sex with somebody, you know what I should do? I should put him in a car with a gift bag, allegedly.
Right.
What would be in your gift bag?
Yeah, that's right. That was a fun one. What would be in your gift bag, Sal?
Oh, I'd probably just throw in a lot of this junk, like a Rowdy Roddy Piper figurine. And,
chicks love that stuff.
I would score.
Yeah, Jamie could give it right to her kids. It'd actually be good.
What did you guys have? Wow, that's a great question. I don't even know.
You know the whisk toothbrush that comes with the toothbrush already, the toothpaste already in it, like that. I said a Gatorade. I think Jamie said a chocolate chip cookie.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, those were some of the things.
Yeah. I'll have them coming back.
Some body wash. I think a bottle of my perfume, so you'd never forget me.
Baby wipes.
That's smart.
Yeah, baby wipes.
And you kind of. I don't know if it's rude having the alleged gift bags for people, but I think if you give them all the same one, I think that's rude. I think you should have tiers.
Right.
Like you should be like, hey, we had a great time. Give her the one. Give her tier 1, and then other ones, it's like give her tier 3, which is just some baby.
I'm all about it. I love it.
Either way, I think it ends in tears. Maybe not the kind you're talking about, but Jamie, you said multiple friends dated him. So maybe did they compare notes with the gift bags, or was that not even a thing?
I forgot to ask.
Okay.
I'll follow up for you and get back to you.
Yes, please put that on your to-do list. All right. Speaking of baseball players, I wanted to play a quick game. By the way, you come from a baseball family here, Jamie, right?
Kind of, yeah. My dad runs an amateur baseball league.
Yeah.
And so baseball's always been his passion. My husband used to play pro ball. And I'm a select baseball 11U baseball mom, which is 90% of my life.
Wait a minute. My kid's an 11U too. Are you driving 2.5 hours on Saturday to make an 8 a.m. game?
It wouldn't be a Saturday without packing up a cooler at 5:30 in the morning for snacks for my 7-year-old all day.
Oh, it's the best.
Oh, yeah.
And, our parents did it for us. So wait.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
I don't have kids, and it bothers me. Like when Jamie's like, I'm driving through the middle of Texas on a Saturday at noon. I'm like, oh my God, it's horrible.
You are winning in the best way, Rob. I can't even explain to you. I want to play a quick game with you guys. We noticed some Sopranos characters have names that sound like they could have been a baseball player and vice versa. So I'm going to give you a name. You tell me if it's a Sopranos character or a baseball player.
Oh, I love this.
You get 3 out of 5, and I'm going to give you each $100 futures ticket to. Are you both Yankee fans or just Rob?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So be it. Yankees to win the World Series.
I
Retail
like
value $750 right now if you win. So that's each.
Come on. Best
3 out of 5.
Done.
You could do this. First one's pretty easy, I think. Mikey Palmisi.
I know that.
Sopranos.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay. You have to agree on the answer. Sopranos?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Soldier and Junior's crew, whatever.
Great character.
Yeah, he was good. Okay. Didn't last long, but that is one. All right, you're on the board. 2 out of 4 the rest of the way. Tony La Russa.
That's baseball.
Baseball.
That's exactly
Or
right.
Karate Kid.
Daniel La Russa. It's Daniel La Russa's uncle. Yeah. 3-time world champ with the A's, Cardinals. Great manager. All
You just got to get 1 out of 3, Aim.
One more. This might be tough. George Piacosta.
I would say baseball.
I say, sure, baseball.
Tony runs into George at a nursery, remembers their sons went to camp together, discuss them hanging out. All right. Okay, stop shot. 1 out of 2 here. Sal Magley.
Baseball.
I would go baseball also.
You would be exactly right. And if the Yankees win, I owe you guys upwards of $1,500. Good job. That was nice.
This is great.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the full scumbag
We still
move.
got it.
I come on your pod and I'm getting 15 hundo. All right.
You're going to get it. All right, try not to lose it over the break. We're going to take a quick break. We got lots more with Jamie-Lynn Sigler and Rob and I. We're going to talk Sopranos, and they'll be faced with Cuz's conundrum when we return. All right, welcome back to Cousin Sal's Winning Weekend. We are joined by the host of the Not Today Pal podcast and honorary Italian-Americans, Jamie-Lynn Sigler and Robert Eiler. We were talking about gambling over the break. I think I might have set up a consortium. You two, if you tag team the gambling world, that'll be great. Oh, what people will talk about it.
It could be a whole segment on the pod, Rob.
Nothing would make me happier or prouder of my life than if I somehow was getting paid to gamble. It's my absolute truth. There's nothing else I'd be more excited.
Well, we're putting it out there. Listen, look at us. Let's do this.
I mean, it would. I could cry.
I'm kind of doing it. It's great. I'm sure it ends terribly, but we'll see. For now, it's all right. The Sopranos is 26 years old from its inception. It's disgusting how time flies.
Gross.
My son is watching now. He's a sophomore at University of Oregon. And I don't even care about his grades. When I call him, I'm like, what season are you up to? What's going on? What do you think of the Ginny Sack joke? Where are we? Rob, let me ask you, what was your favorite AJ season? I think it would have to be season 6, right? You had so many meaningful and crushing scenes and soul crushing scenes sometimes.
It's so weird for me because I never watched the show, so I don't know what season was what. Like for me, it's just kind of like it's kind of like this 10-year thing that all happened at once. I don't really remember like, oh, this was season 6. But I'm such a lazy person that I would probably say whatever the easiest one was. You know, the one where I came in the kitchen, I grabbed some food, I walked out. Once they made me start really working, it was a pain. You know,
right? You dropped the lasagna, you got yelled at, you turned around and walked around
and go up the stairs. Yeah.
That's a great answer. Jamie, you, I believe, have 11U baseball, so your kid's almost 12, right? Your oldest?
Yeah.
You're getting close to where they're going to want to watch and see what all the fuss is about. Are you ready for this?
I mean, I look forward. I still haven't watched in its entirety, so maybe I'll wait for him. But I look forward to that day. Yeah, he asks me often because I think his teachers will ask him about it or other people, and he has nothing to say. So yeah, I look forward to that day when he can watch it for sure. But I don't know if 16 is when I'll let him do it. Is that?
Yeah, I think that's fine. That's probably good.
You say it's fine.
I think once you catch him with a girl like in his room, after that, you're like, all right, you could watch Sopranos.
I mean, he's almost there.
Yeah.
Don't tell him that. It might speed up the process.
Because that's going to be the best year of his life. The best season for him is going to be the girl in Sopranos.
He's not going to want to watch that show with me.
Which scene are you most, would you be weirded out about most?
I guess there's like one random tiny scene where I dance in my underwear for my boyfriend. That was awkward.
This is why I'll never watch the show.
You can't watch.
It's so quick. But also, I guess the scene where Meadow loses her virginity.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. You don't want the kids seeing that, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, maybe wait till they're 19. Let me ask you, as a mother, do you sometimes find yourselves drawing off Soprano scenarios to parent your kids? Like, how would Carmelo handle? As I'm asking this, I realize how ridiculous this is because you have actual parents whose experience you could draw off of.
Sure. I definitely draw on theirs more. Okay. But do I ever have the urge to smack them across the back of the head like Tony Soprano? Absolutely. Do I do it? No. But do I want to? Yes.
Yeah. She's good at that, Rob. She's good at keeping herself in check.
Yeah, I'm just picturing her now, being fed up with her kids and being like, my fake dad would kill people. And it's like, what? Like, what are you talking about, Mom? Forget it.
It's the 1950s in this house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob, would you rather your kids go into acting or sports? Sports.
Right away.
Even hesitate.
Yeah. No, of course. Get concussions, whatever. I don't care. Just don't act. Yeah. It's not cool. It depends. Like, I think, honestly, if whichever one they had a passion for, if I saw that they loved acting, I think it would be great. But I just, it's not my passion. What I love about podcasting is you do it for an hour and then you have an hour podcast where it's I just did a Netflix show for Tom Segura and it's it was 5 years in the making. And you're like, this is retarded. I can't, I don't understand. 4 years ago. And then people are asking you questions about this thing you did 4 years ago. And you're like, I don't know. What were you thinking when you did this? I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking last week. What was I thinking 4 years ago? I was thinking how this thing will probably never come out, how it's been 5 years to get on Netflix.
Yeah, I feel bad telling you that we're holding this podcast till Labor Day, but I shouldn't say anything. I do, because I'm a slovenly human being, need to ask you about a food-related question. When we would do Jimmy Kimmel Live from Brooklyn for a week, we would get every pizza place. Anybody would send us food shipments, and we'd be eating meal after meal after meal. I imagine your craft service was insane once you guys got established. Was there a lot of that?
Well, it actually went in the beginning it was okay, and then it got to amazing, and then it went way downhill because people started complaining. They were like, we're getting fat. They're coming. Yeah. We would be on set, and they'd be coming around with trays of mozzarella sticks.
That was the best year. That was the best.
That was our best season. Yeah.
What was going on then? They were fresh smoothies, fresh mozzarella sticks. It was amazing.
They would come with a TGI Fridays tray, and just not even it's over there. They would come walking around with it. And, and then everybody's covered in buffalo wing sauce, and people really did start complaining about gaining weight. So then they had to tell them And then, of course, they say that, and the next day they go all the way to, like, there's celery sticks and, like, yeah, and you're like, what is this crap?
But I do think that, like, every male adult cast member gained, like, 20 pounds that season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby Bacala was like 125 coming into
He was.
into the craft service. No, but Rob, you talk about like you were on the Atkins, right? I've tried them all too, but you were I don't even know at what point in your life. I mean, I know in the character's life where you got thin, but it's supposed to have been tough for you. It's hard to rip the breadcrumbs off the mozzarella sticks, right?
It was very different. It's just hard also being like 13 and 14 and telling your peers that you're on the Atkins diet, you know, like telling my 14-year-old friends, or like you're at some girl's birthday and you're like, oh, I can't eat the pizza, I'm on the Atkins. And you feel like such a loser at 14. And like nobody at 14 is like, oh, well, he's like, at least he's on Soprano. Like they don't even know what the so I'm just the guy who's like the 14-year-old on the Atkins diet at birthday parties, which is super cool.
Yeah, exactly. Peeling the cheese off the pizza. All right. You guys have known each other nearly all your lives, personally and professionally. I want to do some rapid fire questions. You tell me, who would it be, Rob or Jamie? Which one is better at this?
Okay.
Who is a better parallel parker?
Jamie?
Me.
Yeah. Is that just because you had to, the scene took 17 hours and you just have a lot of practice?
I'm going to say quickly that it's very difficult to park poorly when you are a good parker.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
What a brag. Yeah.
It is I will happily, this is not even a humble brag. This is a braggy brag.
That was your
But
hardest
Rob
acting
doesn't drive.
role? That was your hardest acting scene?
My hardest scene of the show.
That wasn't a stunt driver? You're saying that was actually you? Wow.
That was me. And they were like, Jamie, it's too perfect. Please stop.
Yeah. And then 20 years later, 10 years later, Jamie was driving in the Super Bowl commercial.
Right.
Wait, but what about when I was pulling into the podcast and you were waiting for me, Rob?
So I'm waiting for Jamie. I happened to get out right before, and I see Jamie's car coming, so I'm waiting for her. She pulls up.
I got so distracted when I got so excited to see Rob.
It wasn't. Don't blame it on me. And
I'm just saying I was excited.
She hits the curb, and I look down at the tire, and I'm like, oh no! I'm like, your tire is shredded. Like you're gonna have to get a new tire. She comes around, she looks at it, she goes, no, that's from 2 weeks ago, and I hit it in the same spot.
Oh wow!
So, like,
It literally sliced a piece of the rubber off. Like who can do? Like even the guy at the repair shop was like, "How did this happen with an axe?"
Right. Oh well, luckily Angie Bump and Sarah can get you a deal. I think.
There we go.
That's a baseball player.
Yeah, there you go. All right, but it's all the same, she's still the better parallel parker. We're going to give that to Jamie? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, who would be better at running the Bada Bing?
Rob.
Yeah.
No, now that I'm sober, I don't think I could hang. I think you would be. I think you could get in there and really. I think you'd do a good job. Yeah, now I think I'd crumble, and I would either. Or just be doing cocaine in the back.
Yeah, I'd really lean into being a boss.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think you'd have everybody like, you know.
Yeah.
All right. I think you'd both be good at that. Okay. Which of you has more of the makings of a varsity athlete? Oh, come on. This was such a...
Neither.
Yeah, but...
Uncle Junior needs to know. Yeah.
Robbie's into fitness.
I'm going with me. Again, I grew up with a bunch of kids in New York and whatever. And when we do, like, I don't have social media, but our podcast has social media. And sometimes we put something out and people will comment stuff that are Sopranos quotes. And they're trying to be like funny and encouraging. But my friends back from New York will be like, I just got into a fight with some guy on Instagram because he said you didn't have the makings of a varsity. I'm like, bro, that's a quote from a show. He's like, yo, we played football together. I'm like, what are you talking? I'm like, just let it go. I forget what there was one that was like a few weeks ago where my friend was like, yo, I'm going off on this guy right now. I'm going to look it up.
That's so good. That's so good.
That's awesome. That's really good. Where did you grow up, Rob? What part of New York?
I grew up on 92nd Street and 2nd Avenue.
Okay, so you're in the city. Jamie, you were in Long Island. I was on Long Island also. East
North.
Really? Yeah, it's Suffolk
cool.
County, East Northport. Where were you?
Isn't that where Edie was from?
You know, was she from East Northport? Like the Huntington area? She might have been. She might have actually been.
I think she might have been around. I was from Jericho.
Okay. I wanted to say East Meadow only because that would make most sense, but you were from Jericho.
That would have been very poetic, but
Jericho,
no.
Rob, she's good.
Yeah,
I was on like the poorer side of Jericho, but
really?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Which of you is more likely to visit your grandmother at a nursing home?
Me.
You?
Yeah,
Or, I don't know, Rob, you were really close with your grandfather.
It depends which grandma. One of them guaranteed. The other one, I think she's in one right now. I don't even know.
All right. Well, if you don't know, then maybe you're not the answer for that one. Okay.
And by the way, I looked on my phone. The line was something about being a poser. It was something
good.
about being a poser. And my friend was like, "You're a poser," like, like going at them. I'm like, dude, it's a Sopranos line. Like, chill out. He's like, no.
You have such good friends.
And then another guy one time, like 10 years ago, said something about me somewhere. One of my friends was like, I'm DMing him. I'm going to meet him, like, somewhere to fight him. I'm like,
Wow.
dude, you're out of your mind. Like, but they're also just heavy, the Irish drinkers.
Yeah.
They don't mind a little scrap.
You should have let it go. It would have been the most ridiculous grounds for like a homicide, I think.
Yeah, I should have like video
Would have been
it
a
for me.
great story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding. All right. Which of you is less likely to cave to the feds?
Less likely?
Or more? I mean, I guess it's the same. Yeah.
Listen, I'll
More
tell you,
likely-
the feds, I don't think I'm ever caving, but if you did some kind of like Taliban style, I'm done in like 30 seconds. Like
interesting.
You put something like under my fingernail where you're like trying to get information from me, I'm just giving it up. But mentally I could hang. But if you're gonna do like some like torture shit with like some loud noise and like drilling a nail in my hand, I gotta give you the info.
Oh, okay. Jamie, how do you do it with torture?
Well, I live in it
I see.
very well.
Yeah.
He was born in it.
You have kids. All right, listen, guys. I have one more question before you both go. We call this Cuz's Conundrum.
Cuz's Conundrum.
Okay? For this one, you have your own answers. All right, David Chase entrusts you with the definitive answer to how The Sopranos ended and the meaning behind it. He's never told anyone before, and he's going to tell you, but if you reveal his secret to anyone, you get blindfolded and left deep in the Pine Barrens next February. Can you keep the secret? Do you even want the responsibility of knowing? Jamie, I'll start with you.
Yes, I can absolutely keep it.
You can keep it and you want to hear it.
I want to know.
You do want to know. Rob?
I can keep it, and even more importantly, I don't care. So that's what I have above everybody. Is like people want to know the answer because they're dying to know. I don't give a shit. I never cared how The Sopranos was going to end. I didn't care what was happening next season. I would hear stuff and I'd forget it in 30 seconds.
Really? So if you didn't care, you probably would rather not know, because if you didn't care and slipped, what would the point, right? Why
But
did
if
I even tell anyone?
David changed my life. If he needs to get it out, if he needs a shoulder to lean on, he could tell me the secret and I'll just forget about it in a minute later.
Gotcha. I know you guys like the ending. I you know what? I was just too immature for it at the time. I hated that it was. I hated. I think
You just
that
hated it was
ending.
over.
Yes, that was it. I got mad at the fact that it was over.
Yeah.
And listen, I didn't need to see Carmela's, eyeball in the onion rings or anything shot out. But I was just so angry. But I'm glad you guys are okay with it.
I really wanted a Meadow wedding. I really wanted like a big soprano wedding. Like I wanted,
really?
yeah, that's the only, not regret, but thing I wish we could have done. Like Carmela would have thrived planning it, like seeing Tony like give away his daughter. Like that was a moment I wish I was hoping for Meadow when we were doing the show.
I would have had to give some stupid speech where
You would have been so good.
No,
it would have been so good.
I would have had to fart or something. Yeah,
They would have been competing about whom gave me more cash in an envelope.
that's nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get David Chase to do this. It's not too late, guys. You can do it.
When we had him on our podcast, he said that he wanted to do a comedy with us, and he's like, I want to do something crazy that no one would expect. Like we're all in space.
Can you imagine?
We were like, all right. He's
Like
and
all
it's
the Sopranos characters in a spaceship.
Yeah, he's like, everyone who's still alive from Sopranos is in the show. He's like, but we never mentioned Sopranos. We happen to be a crew of a spaceship. And it's a
I
comedy.
still think we should do this.
That's
Wow.
incredible.
Jamie, you'd have to practice parallel parking a spaceship, but otherwise I don't see any problems with this. This would be
No
really good.
problem.
All right. Jamie, Rob, thanks so much for being here. This was awesome. I appreciate
So
it.
fun.
Thank you so much. Next year, if you have any locks, if you get inside information, you got to text me.
Let's do it. I'm going to
Yeah.
text you. I'll DM you all, and then you can fade me. Just go the other way. Hey, everyone, go listen to the Not Today Pal podcast. We'll be right back.